Hey guys, it's Banger Party, and today I'm going to be doing a rant on Glover for Nintendo 64. And before I start the rant, I gotta show off my gloves. I had to be wearing gloves for the Glover rant. But let's start the rant. First of all, the graphics. They look nice. For a Nintendo 64 game, they're bright and colorful, and Glover is a really cute character. Like, his animations are so cute. There is some fog, but they don't really, it doesn't really do much. Next up is the sound design and the music. For the music, it's really catchy, and I did really like listening to the soundtrack. And the sound design, it makes sense for the game, and Glover, again, very cute. Like, I just love his little voice. Now it's time for the gameplay, which Glover on its own, he feels fine to control. Like, it's standard for a 3D platformer, pretty much. Like his moves is very basic. Like, he has a cartwheel, which is only ever used like once in the game. He has a ground pound, which can hit switches, stun certain enemies, and kill small enemies, but very weak ones. Like, there's some in the game that like are just like basic kind of like circles, and those are the ones you can kill with the ground pound. And Glover does have some power-ups in the game. Like, he can ride like certain enemies in the game. Like, there's like a little like clown thing you can like ride on, which makes it bounce really high. A sword that allows you to attack enemies, and there are potions, which some like make you bigger, one makes it fly, one makes the ball magnetic to you, and others. But speaking of ball, that's the major thing about this game. This game has a huge ball mechanic, which what the ball mechanic does, it completely changes your moveset. Like, it completely changes the way you play, and each ball does play differently from one another. The main one, that being the rubber ball, which is the main one as shown on the game's cover and the advertisement in the background. What that does is that, like, it makes you, how do I put this, like, it allows you to bounce higher. Like, you're able to get on top of the ball and bounce on it for getting, like, tricky to reach areas or items. Another one is that, well, another use for it is that, like, you have to be able to dribble the ball, meaning that, like, you can actually gain more height with it, along with the ball itself. You have to be able to slap the ball and to throw the ball, which, after doing so, like, it'll cause the ball to bounce a little bit. And the ball does float on water. There's a bowling ball, which you can get on top of it as well, but instead, like, you can also throw it and slap it, but it's very slow and heavy. It can be used to break things and sinks underwater. The steel ball bearing can also be thrown and slapped, but it's fast, sinks underwater, and is magnetic. And lastly is the crystal ball. You can't throw it or slap it or dribble it, but what it does is that, like, it allows you to net extra points. And in my opinion, it has the best water physics because it also floats on water. And here's the thing about the ball as a mechanic, like, the game does take advantage of this mechanic at times. Like, here's the thing, like, the level design is based around this mechanic, so I mean, like, you're gonna have to think at times for, like, certain puzzles, saying, like, okay, what type of ball do I need to do this? But, more often than not, like, the game does give you, like, freedom to, like, choose whatever ball you want to use. Like, if you want to use the steel ball bearing for a certain level, you can most likely send it with the rubber ball or the bowling ball. Just that you gotta be smart, like, just gotta be thinking about, like, how you handle things, like, how do I put this? Like, let's say, like, you're going on a slope, like, some people will, like, choose the steel ball bearing because, like, it's fast, but some people will choose, like, not the rubber ball, but the bowling ball, because, again, it's slow and heavy, but does really, have a little more control over the area. Like, and that's just one example. In fact, like, the game is actually very smart with its level design. Like, there's, like, one part in the game where, like, when you, like, you see crates and you can jump over them, but you're gonna be thinking, like, okay, am I gonna use the bowling ball? But here's the thing, the crates inside of them have, like, enemies that attack the ball. But on the other side of the crates is an enemy that allows you to kill the enemies that attack the bowling ball, but also break the crates. So mean that, like, you can safely place the bowling ball, but then go over to the area with the sword enemy, grab it, and then go ham on the enemies that kill the ball. Like, I do like parts, like, that make you think about outside the box and, like, okay, I'm gonna do this so I can, like, get the ball safely over here. Which is really cool. And also, the game does have a cheat code system, which there's a chicken throughout the hub world, and if you talk to it, it gives you like really random noises like burping, farts, and just chicken noises. And on the pause menu, throughout the little with the C buttons, you can use those to repeat the sounds, and repeating the sounds in the same order will give you cheat codes. Which, how do I put this? Like, some are better than others. Like, some can get you lives, and I really don't know what the others are. I never really messed around with it, but I just know that. So, even so, like, it does sound like I have some, like, pretty good things to say about this game. There are some pretty bad lows. Like, most often than not, the ball mechanic. Like, the ball mechanic can screw you over at times. Like, how do I put this? Like, let's say, like, you're going and all of a sudden you get attacked. You can actually lose the ball that way. Same with going down a slope. Like, there are so many ways to lose the ball, and it is so delicate. Like, there are certain parts that should be easy, but I got so frustrated with. Same with dealing some of the level design. Like, the level design at parts, it's really frustrating. Like, specifically, 2 of the carnival levels and all the space levels, I hated them. The boss fights are really underwhelming. Like, they're mostly easy for parts, but there are 2 in particular, that being the Frankenstein boss and the monkey boss. I hated them so much. The camera, it isn't bad, but can be better. Like, it's one of those like 3D platformer cameras from the time, like, how it gets stuck on everything. Like, it does the job at certain times, but can be so much better. And lastly, here's the thing that's really bad about this game. Specifically, the Nintendo 64 version has a game-breaking bug in it that can delete your save file. I knew about it, luckily, so I was always copying and pasting my save file. And even still, my save file was deleted, but luckily I had a backup of it. So yeah, so be careful when buying this version. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Glover, honestly. Like, even though the game does have some like really high highs, the lows can also be like really, really low, and does affect some like outcomes of the game. Like, some parts can be like really fun, but also really frustrating. But overall, I did really enjoy my time with this game. If you want a unique Nintendo 64 platformer, I highly recommend it. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Glover. Hope everyone has a nice night.